with us here on Business Today. I'm Aabha Bakaya and we're counting down to market opening for you. Just about steady is what we're expecting, just at about 26,000. Remember, US markets and Asia overnight haven't been all that great, but we're on the verge of that trade deal coming in, and also the growth outlook that we're looking at lately. Some of the recent data that has come in also looking very encouraging on the back of consumption. So we'll, of course, tell you a little bit more about that in just the next minute or two, but I want to count down to the opening bell. Let me also bring in Shell. Shell, this morning, we're just counting down to opening now, a few seconds to go. What's it looking like?
Positive, Aabha, very good morning to you. Remember, 26,000 is what we were looking at, a close above that. That's happened. Yeah. And we have strength coming back into the market. So a record high in the next 2 or 3 sessions. And then, of course, a phase of consolidation. The Nifty down 54. Would you like to take it forward as far as the opening bell is concerned?
All right, let's take a look at some of the other stocks in news also. We've got a whole host of newsmakers this morning, and I think, okay, there you have it, the opening bell. We've opened with a downtick, it looks like right now, Shell. On opening, perhaps taking a cue from global markets as well. So right now it's not looking all that pretty on the screen. Just a minor downtick, nothing too much to worry about, but definitely seeing a touch of profit booking coming in this morning. We've got a whole host of newsmakers, of course. We've got the historic deal to buy LPG from the US. That's part of the trade deal that's looking to close now. So a lot of action coming in there. We've got a lot of block deals on Paytm. Elevation Capital is looking to sell 2%. So that's a deal size of 1,640 crores. On Emphasis, we've got Blackstone set to sell about 9.5% of its stake, and the total deal size there is 4,600 crores. So a couple of these stocks will be in focus this morning as well. Other than that, we've got a few other newsmakers. We've got an upgrade coming in on Bharti Airtel. Let's bring that one up for you and see how it's trending this morning. And Adani Enterprises has said that its Navi airports all set to open. So Navi Mumbai. So a lot of action coming in on that front in terms of excitement to see like what they have in store. Adani's flat this morning has seen enough buzz lately, of course. And let's bring up JSW Infra to acquire 51% stake in an SPV for the Oman port project. Let's bring up that, see if there's any reaction there. And we've got KEC International in focus on the back of a bunch of order wins as well this morning. So we'll bring that one up for you as well and see if there's any reaction on that front. So these are a few newsmakers, but the index really quiet this morning. Shell.
Aabha, I wouldn't be worried at all as far as the index is concerned. 6 continuous days of gains. In the last week, we've added about 400 points. About 150 points in the last 2 trading sessions, and we are just headed for a record high. We just need to be a little patient. More importantly, what's not happening is that the rally is not spreading into mids and smalls. So frontline is what is moving, and that's a bit of a concern, because what a large majority of the people hold are mid caps and small caps. Large caps are mostly institutional, and therefore you see a lots of funds doing very well, the large cap, the blue chip universe. But what's not trickling down is the rally in the BSE mid cap index, the NSE small cap index, and that is something that should happen once the record high is breached, which is 26,277. We are about 1.5% away. Today, 25,900, 950 will be tested, but take it from me that we have a fresh high in the making this week, Aabha.
Okay, so continuing to sound pretty positive on all the action there. Let me just take a look at what else is in the news. So we've talked about Paytm, we've talked about JSW Energy. We've also had the finance director there having resigned, so that's why it's in the news this morning. Power grid, lots of fundraising action coming in on a power grid. So let's bring that up for you, see if there's any reaction coming in there. Grow on continues to see strength to strength. So Grow is looking really good again today. About, continue to see about 6-7% traction, I think. Yeah, 7% on Grow. So fantastic listing and continuing action there. But let's get you all the details on that trade deal. Let's go across to Karishma for more on that and understand all the aspects to it as well. India and the US are inching closer to it. And the first part will likely remove If I can just ask my PCR to be a little quieter so I can toss across to the reporter on this. Karishma, take it away.
Well, Aabha, a lot that is now happening on the trade deal front. In fact, yesterday India's Trade Ministry held a press briefing, and officially the numbers were also out, which still spoke about India doing well when it comes to exports. On the US trade front, I must tell this to you, Aabha. It's a happy Tuesday announcement because looks like the deal is soon going to be sealed, especially with the first tranche of the deal, which is on the package pertaining to doing away with the reciprocal tariffs, that is the 25% tariffs that were imposed in the month of April. Now, what we are picking up from officials from Commerce Ministry is that it's in the last leg of negotiations, and due to US government shutdown, there were no visits, but still virtual conversations and negotiations were still happening between both the countries. And while the major focus is going to be on BTA, which could take in some time because there is a lot of netting and betting that has to be done when it comes to signing a trade deal. It's the first tranche of 25% reciprocal that could be done away with in as soon as possible, maybe as early as next week. That's not coming officially, but that's what our sources have hinted us. In terms of greater market access, US is still asking for that. They're not budging on that, but India has also shared that they will not budge on India sensitive sectors, so they're trying to find a fair and balanced deal. So December could well end with a very happy news for both the countries, especially now that we also are going to deal with the US on LPG, which was announced by India's oil minister yesterday.
All right, great. Thanks so much for joining us with that, Karishma. There are a lot of aspects to this deal. Just want to understand from you, in terms of how you see the impact playing out, in regards to the key sectors as well that are likely to be impacted.
The biggest benefit out of this is going to be for the gems and jewelry, textiles, footwear and leather sector, because these sectors have been suffering majorly because of the 25% tariff, and additionally the 25% that came in because of our deal with the Russian trade. In fact, if we go by numbers, there has been a slight downfall with our exports to the US by close to say about 4% in the month of October, while we are still doing well and US still remains our top export destination. There has been some downfall in terms of the value, and that is because of the tariffs implied on these sectors. So expect some happy news coming in for textiles, for footwear, for gems and jewelry, and for a bit of petroleum products.
All right, so it will be exciting. And Shell, we've been talking about this and how it will be a fillip for the markets. We've still to, of course, see some of those stocks pick up, but definitely a huge fillip.
Absolutely, Aabha. See, what really triggered the sell-off in India somewhere in early May and June was the lack of this trade deal, and then the additional 25% sanction that came via tariffs. Now, with that gone, you'll have the fifth tailwind, which will now benefit the Indian markets, particularly exporters. And that is something that we need to look forward to, because most textile companies, most exporters are small and mid-cap companies. That will have a very nice tailwind with the GST rate cut, the IT rate cut, the cut in interest rates, and of course a good monsoon, and of course this wonderful Bihar victory that has happened for the NDA. All put together, like I've repeatedly said, we are heading for somewhere like 26,500, 26,900 over the next 2 months or so, Aabha.
All right, let's also go across to our guest this morning and understand what he's making of the current traction. Abhishek, good morning. Let's first get your take on the index and where we're headed and what this trade deal will mean for us.
We started in the market with the problem with the trade deal, and although it's not a very big component of what the Indian economy is, it's a very big sentiment negator or a booster, as the case may be. So as and when India does get the trade deal in place, it's going to boost sentiment. And I would probably say that we are at the cusp of another phase, bull phase of the market. That might last for a year and a half, or so. And if that is the case, then we should be seeing good times, because there are a lot of positives in the fundamentals that are there. Inflation is low. Interest rates probably is going to come down. If we get the trade deal, then everything sort of comes together.
All right, that's the view coming in on the index. There are a lot of themes we've been tracking this week, Abhishek. Want to get your take on the PSU banking theme first, because on the reform agenda, that's been one pocket that's been sharply in focus. What's your view there, and would you stick to the three names that everyone's been eyeing, or would you even go broader on the back of at least some upside post the merger news?
See, I think, PSU banking is a very good place to be in, not only because we've probably seen the worst of the banking sector, but simply because of the fact that the valuations are more compelling there. But overall, I mean, other than the PSU, the entire banking sector, the NBFCs, all of it look good. So again, if we are expecting the index to do well, the banking sector necessarily has to do well, because it's such a large component of the overall index. Fundamentally, I think both PSUs as well as the non-PSU banking NBFCs ought to do well.
9:26, ladies and gentlemen. Let's pay attention to a bit of the markets as well. The Nifty Bank is back in the green, 32 points higher, but a mild profit booking happening on the Nifty after 6 days of 1.5-2% uptick. Let's look at the broader markets as well. Only 864 shares in the green, 1485 in the red. So it's a reverse 1:2. 19 indices are in the red as well. Nifty Bank is the only index that is in the green. When you look at the broader markets in terms of top traded counters, as far as volume is concerned, you have Paytm, because of the block deal, 0.5% higher, the top traded 1325. Emphasis again block deal, 2687, about 822 crores worth of transactions done. It's an unusual list for NSE 500 today. KNS Technologies and MKO Pharmaceuticals amongst the top traded, both down. HDFC Bank flat, 995. BSE doing pretty well, 1% higher. Bharti Airtel, Aabha mentioned the upgrade, 2130. And in terms of top gainers, we have Sundaram Fasteners, hospital chain Aster DM, 4.5% higher. Fertilizer company RCF, 2.3% higher. GMR Airport, now in 3 digits. And of course, Max Health, 1.9% higher, 1140. Remember, 2 upgrades, one coming in from UBS and the other one from Jefferies. What are you watching, Aabha?
Let's take a look at Zomato. We've got Eternal up sharply. Morgan Stanley coming in as an overweight with a target price of 427. That's a potential upside coming in of 38%. We've actually seen Eternal, after the run-up around festive season, cool off about 9% in so far, just post Diwali. So, but a huge, target price coming in from Morgan Stanley on this one. What do you make of it, Abhishek?
Not much. I mean, I'm not tracking this space very closely, so wouldn't want to hazard a comment on this.
Okay, so not too excited about Eternal there. Let me also pull up some of the consumption-related news. We've got the SBI forecasting 7.5% GDP growth, big revision, which is over RBI's 7% estimation, citing festive sales and of course the GST fillip. That's a huge spurt when it comes to the kind of growth impact they're seeing. So they're looking at a big spurt in the July to September numbers, 7.5% versus 7%, which was forecast earlier by the RBI. What are you making of this in terms of the consumption story and the opportunity here, Abhishek? Where would you be looking?
I think consumption is, going to be a very, very strong theme for India for at least this cycle, because again, if you see, inflation is down, interest rates are down, taxes have been cut, GST has been rationalized. So all of this is pointing to the fact that there is we've got good monsoons. So overall, the impact on consumption is going to be strong. Now, the difference that we see in consumption over the last few years is the consumption basket has changed. People are not consuming FMCG all that much. They're moving more to, say, traveling, more of discretionary spending, and that is where I think the bigger consumption boom is going to be. So you'll see more of buying of two-wheelers, cars, travel, electronic goods, consumer durables. That's where essentially the big consumption is going to come from.
9:30, ladies and gentlemen, the first 15 minutes of the market on this wonderful Tuesday morning is with us. The Nifty down 55. What's being happening is the test of 25,900, 25,950 as the market moves up. Remember, today is also the weekly expiry of the Nifty. It needs to somehow digest the last 6 days of rally in which 450, 550 points are being added. So flat to sideways trade on the index, but lots of activity that's happening on the broader markets. Record highs on Federal Bank, 241.7. Laurus Labs, we've been pointing this one out for a very, very long time. India's top CDMO player, 1029 now. Marico from the FMCG space, Indian Bank, State Bank of India from the PSU banking basket, and of course from the auto ancillary space, Asahi India, a fresh record high at 1012. Aabha.
Okay, lots of buzz. We've got MCure likely to sell up to 2% of the pharma company's total equity. That's a block deal again. The price represents about a discount of approximately 7% to MQ's closing price. So the stock is down about 4% right now. 1340 is what it's trading at. Abhishek, have you taken a look at MQR lately? That's Bain Capital likely to sell 2% of the pharma company.
It's actually a good company per se, but haven't taken a look at it lately.
Okay, Hero Motocorp also, Abhishek, 52-week high coming in, and we've been tracking two-wheelers. Hero's been looking good. Your view on a Hero?
Very positive. I think Hero has been doing well, especially their they do very well when the rural market picks up. We've got great monsoons this year, so good monsoons, GST cut augurs well for Hero.
All right, Abhishek, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We'll leave it there. We've got you've got a lot of action now when it comes to stock-specific names this morning. A lot of block deals too. Let me also go across to Arpit Beriwal. Arpit, thanks so much for joining us. Let me first get your take on the index and where you see, a lot of action and opportunity right now in the market sectorally.
Very good morning to all. So if we talk about Nifty first, if you see Nifty on the weekly scale, last week we've seen good recovery from the lower levels. From 25,500 we've seen good recovery towards 26,000 levels. However, yesterday also Nifty was overall positive, but some pause was seen near the psychological level 26,050 levels. So our sense is that on the daily scale, Nifty is trading in a range between 25,500 to 26,100, and going forward our sense is that index is likely to consolidate within this range overall with a positive bias, as today being the weekly expiry. So looking at the OI concentration also, 25,800, 850 the maximum put OI concentration is seen, whereas on the same side on the upside 26,100 is the maximum call OI concentration. So our sense is that Nifty till it holds about 25,900 levels, a stance would be positive, but at the same time 26,050, 26,100 would be a key hurdle level to watch out for.
9:33, ladies and gentlemen. Arpit joins us with this wonderful view in the market. Arpit, what is the derivatives data telling you as far as the Nifty is concerned? What is the skew and what is the long short position?
Absolutely. So if you see the long short ratio is around 10.5, 11%. And if you look at the OI concentrations, as we already discussed during the weekly expiry, 25,800, 25,850 is the put OI concentration. At the same time, 26,100 is the call OI concentration. But surprisingly, if we see India VIX, that is comfortably trading below 12.5, 13 levels. So generally that bodes well for the bulls overall. And even if we see yesterday, though Nifty was a big lackluster, but the setup wise, the base of the market shifting higher. So Nifty immediate support would be around 25,800, 850 would be the major support level for Nifty on the closing basis. On the above upside, 26,050 is the level we are looking out for. Any closing above 26,050 will definitely create a fresh momentum towards 26,150, 26,250 zones.
All right, now 5 paise, let's bring that up for you. It's up 13%. WF Asia Fund, managed by Hong Kong headquartered AIM WFM Asia, has offloaded 7.75%, 13.5% up. It's now, despite this, the shares have rebounded about 9%. And it's been looking good. It's been under pressure earlier, but now we're seeing a nice rebound coming in. And I think Shubhi Consultancy has acquired 3 lakh shares. That's some part of the deal that's come in. And, WF Asian Reconnaissance was holding 9.3% stake, which they've offloaded. The stock is up 13%. We've been talking about a lot of block deals this morning: Paytm, Emphasis, MCure, and now 5 paise as well. Meanwhile, Grow and Shell, this one just doesn't stop. It's still up about 6-7% today.
Well, Aabha, the name is Grow.
There's just no stopping it. And, I just want to, understand from you as well, Arpit, because I know it's a recent listing, but come on, a stock like this cannot escape everyone's attention. What are you making of it?
So as rightly mentioned, the name of the stock is Grow, and we have seen a very good rally in last couple of sessions. Though the stock was listed just last week, but if you look at the chart data wise, definitely it's a short history. But generally, if you see the price pattern of last couple of companies that were listed, and we have seen a sharp up move, so definitely the structure of higher lows is intact. And yesterday we have seen already uptick of 20%, and today another follow up of 6-7%. So I think immediate level wise, 175 would be the major support level, though the history is very short. But looking at the setup wise, 175 would be the support level. If whoever's positions are carrying it, 175 would be the level to watch out for. Till it holds above that, bias would be positive.
Right. Aabha, one interesting thought we must ask Arpit is on the top gaining stock in the Nifty for the month of November. It's actually Asian Paints. It's up 15% for the month of November. A view here.
Yeah. So
what is the chart of Asian Paints telling you? 15% uptick.
If we see overall, Asian Paints was one of the most underperforming stocks in the last couple of years. And if we see this month particularly, when it gave a range breakout above 2600 levels in the series of November series, we have a sharp rally towards 2900 levels. So I think looking from a yearly and a monthly time perspective, definitely the base formation has been done for Asian Paints on the monthly time frame. And from here on, though the rally has been quite steep from 2300 to 2900 levels, but definitely a bottom is made in place for a medium term to 2 to 5 years perspective. I think from a year on, definitely an investment bet can be done on. The stock can head towards 3,000, 3,200 positionally. Though the stock has rallied quite a bit, so better to wait for some cool off in this counter. Towards 2,800 would be a good entry point with major support around 2,650 for an upside move towards 3,000 and 3,200 positionally.
Okay, that's Asian Paints for you. Okay, Arpit, would you be buying into IT at these levels, or would you stay away? It's a little bit of a bump up, then again they've gone quiet. Would anything be appealing to you from the IT sector?
Overall, if we see from last couple of months, if we see the price structure, IT index has been one of the most underperforming sector along with FMCG sector. So a very selective pack has been seen in IT index, and if you look at the IT pack from the mid cap, persistent would be a choice that we can go from on a long side wise. So from the monthly scale, a good recovery was seen from 5,000 odd levels in the last month, and from here on also where IT index is underperforming, the stock is comfortably trading above its short-term moving averages. The base of the stock has shifted higher from 5,000 to almost 5,700, and I think closing above 6,100 will definitely the stock can head back to its previous life high ranges towards 6,300, 6,400. So very selective stock specific approach within the IT basket. Persistent would be a preferred pick within the IT space.
Okay, now let's talk about Byju's this morning. The race has gotten super interesting with a surprise entry of Ronnie Screwvala. Manipal Group's Ranjan Pai, who was expected to get a virtual walkover for the EdTech major, now faces Screwvala's education unicorn Upgrad. And the ultimate prize is not just Byju's, but its subsidiary Akash. The fight now boils down to who can truly unlock its value, Upgrad or the Manipal Group. Let's go across to Palak Agarwal. She's been tracking the story. Palak, from an IBC standpoint, what strategic advantages do bidders like Ronnie or Ranjan have?
Yeah, hi Aabha. So Akash was, or I would say, is one of the most prized possessions for Byju's. It was acquired at the high stakes of $950 million, one of the most high acquisitions in the active sector that has ever happened. Now, while the dissection of Byju's is happening, it still holds the value, and when it comes to Upgrad, where Ronnie Screwvala did mention that they want to focus on the test prep market, and even Ranjan Pai's Manipal Group, which already for the fact holds 58% of share. So the race is who will take this pie, who wants to capture the growing offline education market.
Okay, so what are the valuations looking like? I mean, we know how Byju's has completely crashed from those sky high valuations. When it comes to the bidding war, what level do you think they'll go to acquire whatever assets are left there of the EdTech major?
See, right now the Byju's valuation is dropped to zero, and the remaining parts that Akash has, it's mostly around the faculty that they have, the infrastructure, the limited infrastructure that they have for now. So it's mostly on the faculty part, the offline coaching centers, whatever they have in their network remaining, that would be. But the point here is, Byju's was acquired by Akash to foray into the growing offline coaching ecosystem, which Byju's could not deliver. But it was not because of the lack of money, but the allegations that have been there with Byju Ravindran. So now Upgrad or Manipal Group, they are not acquiring Byju's, they are acquiring what Byju's could never properly integrate into that ecosystem.
All right. Thanks so much, Palak, for joining us and taking us through that. That's exciting bidding news coming in this morning. All right. Let's take a look at Aster DM. Aster DM on earnings up about 5%, reporting double-digit revenue, beta growth as well in Q2 FY26. Let's pull that one up for you. Up about 5% on earnings this morning. So let's see some amount of action coming in there. Yeah, Aster DM, they're up about 4% right now. So good earnings reaction. We've been tracking Hero Moto as well. Arpit, I want to bring you in on that because the stock's looking really good post the latest set of numbers.
So if we see overall auto index has been quite resilient. When we have seen the rate cut, especially in the GST in the month of July and August, post that we have seen stupendous rally in the auto index, and post that auto index has been resilient at the life high rate. Talking about Hero MotoCorp, so we have seen a very classical rally on the monthly time frame on the Hero MotoCorp from last 5 to 6 months. However, in the series between September to October, it was consolidating, but again we have seen a range breakout above 5,720 levels, and I think the stock looks good to head towards 6,000 6,000, 6,050 levels positionally. So overall classical range breakout on the weekly setup, quite outperformer within the auto sector. The stock looks good to head towards 6,050 levels with key support around 5780 levels.
Right, 9:44. The first half hour is lapsed. The Nifty on its weekly expiry, just consolidating after 6 days of a nice rapid move worth 500 points. The Bank Nifty now providing some relief, 38 points higher. Overall, we see profit booking happening in the broader market, but nothing to be worried about. As we've been pointing, there are all-time highs, there are value breakouts, and of course, a lot of action happening on many news-led stocks, chiefly in the space of block deals. Apar Industries, Hindustan Aeronautics, Samman Capital, all of them providing a bit of green on the Lal Street, but broadly it's a day of profit booking, Aabha.
All right. What about the oil refiners and the OMCs on the LNG deal as well today? The CNG deal are also looking really good. I know it's not the most popular pocket of the market, Arpit, but if I had to look at some of those oil and gas majors, just curious to see if which one of them would appear on your radar.
If we talk about the OMCs particularly, so OMCs has been a quite outperformer, and particularly if you look at the chart structure of HPCL, that has been a preferred pick from last almost couple of weeks. So if you look at that monthly time frame, a classical range breakout on the monthly time frame after 16-17 months, above 450 levels. On the weekly scale, it is holding well, and the structure of high lows is intact. So wherever in the last week also where we have seen corrective move in the Nifty, the counter was outperforming, and a good base formation is seen around 455, 460 levels. So I think HPCL would be a preferred pick within the OMC basket, and from a positionally, definitely we can see a good move towards 520, 550 levels in HPCL in next 1 to 2 months time frame. So HPCL would be a preferred pick within the OMC basket.
Let's also look at some volume buzzers in the market at this point of time. We'll focus on where price is rising and where you have a strong sense of an uptick. Bombay Burma Trading Company, 6.5% higher, 1957 is the price ticket. 5.4 times the 5-day average, 3.5 lakh shares traded. An interesting stock is Triveni Turbine, ladies and gentlemen. Please keep an eye out on this one. 541%, higher, volumes 4 times the 5-day average, substantial. Sundaram Fasteners, Aster DM is something that Aabha's already mentioned. I'd like to mention Capri Global as well, 1.1% higher. This is the small ticket high beta item in the NBFC space, which has been doing immensely well. So a lot of catch up to do for Capri Global. Apart from that, AstraZeneca and of course Narayan Hridayalaya in top shape. Aabha.
All right, we'll leave it there. Also must mention that Physics Wala has seen a great listing, good solid premium coming in, listing at 145. That's a 36 rupee premium on that one. So EdTech definitely back in focus. Thanks for joining us, Arpit, and good to see you, Shell. We'll of course come back with more in a short while. That's all from us for now.
घर से निकाल दिया जाएगा, आपको बदनाम किया जाएगा, आपको गाली दिलवाई